Hey guys, it's the TheDiecastMan here, bringing you guys another review. Today we're going to be reviewing the 1/18 scale Maisto Porsche 911 Carrera 4S. This car comes in this silver, black, and maybe a dark blue and some sort of red that's really rare. It's even rare on the actual car. I paid just a mere $22 on eBay for this car and I couldn't resist. I've fallen in love with this generation. If you're unfamiliar with the 996s, the 996 was from 1999 to 2005, and it was the first water-cooled 911. It caused a lot of controversy just because it was water-cooled, coming from all of the air-cooled 911s before that. And also kind of caused a lot of controversy because of these headlights. All the 911s before that had like a single round circle headlights, and these were kind of called the fried egg headlights. So they kind of caused a lot of controversy, and because of that controversy, they've dropped in price across the board. All the 996s have dropped in price, and you're starting to see them come up a little bit in price, but thankfully not this one. So like I said, just a mere $22, and I'll leave an Amazon link in the description to this exact car that you guys can go purchase for yourself. Highly recommend it, and maybe watch this video too before you go out so you'll be fully educated on this car. So without any further ado, let's get started. Alright, so we're going to start up front. It's been a very long time since I've reviewed a car, but I'm glad to be back into it. We're going to take a look at the headlights first on the front of the car. No peg at all in the headlights. They actually look really, really good. One of the common traits of the 996s in real life is that these headlights become very fogged up over time, and these ones look really, really good. Obviously, they won't get fogged up, but they're very, very clear. You got basically like one headlight bulb here and then another smaller one. Like I was saying in the intro before, that is the fried egg or scrambled egg kind of look that people called it. Center of the car here, we've got the Porsche badge embossed in there. Feels very, very nice. It also gives us a chance to just examine the paint. This is known as Arctic Silver Metallic in the Porsche world, and the paint looks really, really good. Got a very nice metallic flake in the sun, or in the sun, in the sun, and in the other lighting that I have going on in here. It looks really, really good. Coming down to the lower front fascia, these two holes are where the front plate is. I took it out. I just don't like front plates in general, and I actually think that these two holes actually look better, but you can fight me in the comment section for that. There's also, I think this would be like a little parking sensor, or maybe the tow hook mount right there. Yeah, probably the tow hook mount. And then the interesting thing, if you didn't know about the Carrera 4S, is that they actually get the turbo front end. So this is from the 996 Turbo, and the whole body is actually from the 996 Turbo, and more on that when we get to the back of the car. But you do get the front, like the front fascia from the Turbo. So you get these two air vents on either side, really big air intakes, and then you got your center one there as well. And then this like little plastic piece. These get really pretty dinged up on 996s. They're there for a reason, you know, for curbs and stuff like that. And they did a really good job. It even has the two holes in there. So that looks really, really good. Very, very nice looking front end, just in general, and Maisto did a really, really good job. Your windshield wipers also too are your standard Maisto plastic. They don't move, but they get the job done. They look pretty nice. One thing I do want to comment, I'm not sure if this is on my particular car or all of them, but you can kind of see right here how the front bumper fitment sticks out from this fender a little bit. Like right there, you can kind of see it. A little bit annoying, but it doesn't bother me that much. I mean, my hopes are not super, super high for a $22 Maisto that is old. I think this one's been discontinued for a while, so really can't complain. But if you have one of these, go check it out and see if that's like it on yours too. Just a little thing that I noticed. Coming down to the wheels here, they hang out really far because I took off all the springs for the suspension, so it sits lower. If you haven't watched that video, I'll link it in the description as well. But taking a look at the wheels, another thing you get from the Turbo is these are called the Turbo Twist wheels in the Porsche community. They have a really, really cool design, and they actually do say, let me zoom in on it for you, they actually do say 4S in the center. Once the camera focuses, you can see it says 4S right there. And they match the paint really, really nicely. I love the silver with silver look. Very classy, very timeless. You got your 5 lug nuts there in the center, and then, of course, your slotted rotors and your red calipers that do even say Porsche on them back there. Taking a look at the side profile, like I said, this car sits lower because I cut all of the springs off. But I just love the side profile of this car so much, and especially in this silver color. We'll start from the bottom and go up, because why not? You got more of the black trim down here that was carried from this front piece. Really cool kind of subtle lines that they got going on. Door looks really good. Door handle actually looks really good too. I'm very impressed with this model for the price. I mean, and for being an older Maisto, it's really good. There is a paint spec right there on the mirror. This is probably just particular to my own one. The camera is just not having it today. It's trying, but there's a little paint speck right there, as you can see, but nothing too big. We also have the sunroof up here, and then they didn't include these. I didn't expect them to, but there's like little pins basically that go along right there, like 1, 2, 3, 4, like that, on the real car, just for like a roof rack or a ski box or something, but didn't expect them to be on there. But they got the lines on there anyway, so that's fine. I really can't complain. Got the quarter window there, and then this is the big part that you get with the turbo body. You get these wider fenders, so it's a lot different than like the narrow body Carrera that they call it. So you get these much wider fenders from the turbo. The only difference too is that the turbo has big air intakes right here, and it also has a bigger wing. The 4S has like a little wing that comes up, but it's nothing like the turbo's fixed wing. But you do, from the turbo, you do get to keep these vents. I love the way these look. Just for more, airflow throughout the car. And taking a look at the back, part of the signature thing of the 4 and the 4S is that they've always had like a red tail light strip throughout the center. I think it looks really good, especially on the 996. I think they did a really good job. It just kind of keeps it like a continuous theme going on. It kind of connects the two and like makes the rear end seem even more rounded, than it already is with the wider fenders. But the exhaust tips look really nice. They kind of sit like a little bit low, and that's because I think I pulled them out and maybe didn't put them all the way back in, but I really can't complain. Got your license plate there, and maybe another tow hook right there. Paint looks really good once again on the back too. Just perfect color for this car in my opinion, and it contrasts with the red so well. There is kind of a small peg in the headlights that you can see right there, but it doesn't actually look as major in person as it does on camera for some reason, but that's like where your turn signal would be, and then your brake light, and then your reverse light. Same sort of deal on this side. Looks really good. And then the Carrera 4S badge is embossed in there, and then your little vents for heat to escape. And then your third brake light. And then moving up just a tiny little bit more, you've got your rear wiper. That was an option on 996s. There are some that don't have rear wipers, so that's pretty cool. And then just your rear window. They didn't include the Porsche logo. They always say Porsche down there, but like I said, $22 model, I really can't complain. So, in typical Maisto fashion, everything opens up. So let's get that all opened up. We've got our front trunk, or a frunk, depending on, how much you like that word. I'm not the biggest fan of it, but we'll start up there anyway. And one of the interesting things is that because the 4 and the 4S, they're all-wheel drive, that's what 4 means in the Porsche language, you have your front differential for the all-wheel drive up here, so it really limits your cargo space by a lot. And this is true in real life too. It takes up like a lot of room. So all of this stuff that you see here is like front differential, and I think where like this little wall is if you have a rear-wheel drive Carrera, that's where your whole trunk stops. So it definitely invades on it a little bit, but nothing too big of a deal. You have a little cap there. I don't know what that's for, and just this would be like one of your speakers or something. They don't have the CD changer included in here, but this is where the CD changer would be on the 996. But good detail overall. Nothing too crazy, but it certainly gets the job done, and it certainly looks nice. And even too, they included this little pattern on the metal up there that looks really cool, very realistic, and has a very satisfying sound. Of course, we love that die-cast metal sound. We'll save the best for last and go into the engine first, and let's wait for that to focus. Of course, this is your Flat 6, the famous Flat 6. Like I said, it was the first water-cooled 911 engine, caused a lot of controversy, but it looks very good sitting in there. A couple different caps, and your air intake box is right here. And no, it all looks very good, especially if it's kind of sitting like that. it looks very, very realistic. Some cool colors going on, maybe like your windshield wiper fluid or something. I don't know the layout of it that well, but it does look really, really good. And they even bothered to include the fan on the roof here. It's a little bit hard to see, but this is one of my favorite things, is they have this fan that's kind of like on the, yeah, I said on the roof, but sort of on the lid of the engine bay. That looks really, really nice. Lots of black plastic, but it's colored pretty well, and it definitely gets the job done. And like I always keep saying, for $22 for a Maisto, you just can't beat it. One complaint I have, and I think that this is true of a lot of the older Maistos, is that the doors just don't open far. This is the farthest that the door opens, so it definitely makes it more challenging to get interior shots, and my camera just hasn't been having it today for focusing. But you can see that's the iconic 996 steering wheel. That's actually the same steering wheel that they use in the Carrera GT. Fun fact, I have a review of that as well. It's pretty difficult to get a look at the door panels from this angle, but I love the door panel design on the 996. You can see it a little bit better there. That little floating piece in the center, that's your airbag, and then your door handle, and then a little storage compartment down below. It looks really, really good. You got your speakers too. Everything looks really, really good. Actually, your gauges are correct. You got your key, like little startup key point on the left side. That's from Le Mans. That's like a little, paying homage back to Le Mans starts in Porsche's racing history, which is really, really cool. 6-speed manual gearbox, of course, and you can see the handbrake is up in this particular model, which is kind of cool because they could have left it down, but they decided to put it up, and that's pretty cool. But the interior overall looks really good. The shifter is that nice silver. All the buttons are colored in the center for the most part, at least down by the air vents. Sorry, the camera is just not having it today, but you get a pretty good general idea of what's going on in there. And then also, these are the sport seats. They look really, really good. These seats last a really, really long time. I've seen a lot of them that have, over 100,000 miles with these seats, and they still look almost new, except for just some creasing. But you get a pretty good idea. The interior looks really, really good. Everything is colored in exactly the way it should be, and just a very, very nice interior. No surprises, no tricks, but very straightforward and continuously reliable, just like Maisto has always been. Yeah, so then we'll take a look at the bottom here. Really not much to see at all. You just kind of have some of your engine components, because of course the engine is in the back, and your exhaust with the headers and everything, but not a whole lot going on. Your differential would be like up here, so not too much going on under there, but it's really there where it counts and where it needs to be, and I'm very happy with this model. $22, can't complain at all. And yeah, it's just it's a very well-rounded car. So I'll leave a link in the description, like I always do, to where you guys can go buy this for yourself. Highly, highly recommend it. If you're looking, you're starting to get into Porsches, or you want kind of a Porsche model that most people won't have, you're probably a safe bet with really any 996, and especially the 4S. The 4S is like the hot one to have right now. You get the turbo body, but you don't have to pay the turbo money. The turbos are crazy expensive compared to a 4S, sometimes $20,000, $30,000 more. But there are some that are getting down there on the cheaper side. But I think 996 prices are going up in general. But if you have any questions, comments, concerns, whatever, leave them down in the comments section below regarding the channel, regarding this 996, any videos you want to see. Please let me know. Do not hesitate to ask. I'm always open to your guys' suggestions. So that pretty much wraps up the review of the 1/18 scale Maisto Porsche 911 Carrera 4S. Thank you guys so much for watching, and until then, it's the TheDiecastMan, signing off.